Hello, Fox class. This week we are going to be writing non-chronological reports, and that sounds like quite a tricky word, but we have done them before. And the non-chronological just means they're not written in a time order. So chronological means time order. So if you were to read a diary, that usually goes in time order. So a report that's non-chronological just means you can usually take different bits of it and read them in different orders, and it wouldn't matter. So we're going to be writing about animals, and in particular, I would really like you to choose an animal that you find amusing. And what I'll try to do when they're finished is put them together and share them with you like we did with the story writing, and maybe we can have a vote on which animal we think is the most amusing if we don't vote for our own. Okay, so try to find an animal that you think is a little bit amusing, a little bit funny, maybe think about why, and you're going to write a report on it. So I'm going to send you a non-chronological report all about meerkats because I think they're quite funny creatures, and this is a video that will talk you through that report and talk you through the steps that you're going to go through over the course of the week. Okay, so I hope you find it useful. Okay, Fox class, so what I'm going to do now is talk through this non-chronological report with you. This is the one that I'm going to send you, and I've named this report Marvellous Meerkats. And you can see the title at the top. If you do decide to do it on a computer, it might be nice to choose a nice border to go around the edge. And we always start with an introduction, so telling the audience what your report's going to be about. So my introduction says, meerkats are a fantastic nomination for one of the world's funniest animals. There's something very human about the way they stand on their back legs or slouch back, chilling out in the sun. And I thought it would be nice to have a little picture there of them chilling out in the sun, so you can see I've added a nice picture there. And then I thought I'd talk about what they look like, so I've put the subheading Appearance. Meerkats are super cute with a bushy brown striped. Oh, I've missed a word there. So reading back is always a good thing, so I'm going to edit that with a bushy striped tail. A small pointed face and large eyes surrounded by dark patches. They average about 50 centimetres long, including their tail. When they stand on their back legs, they look amusing. And then I've done another paragraph here about family life. Meerkats are extremely social animals. They live together in burrows, which they dig with their long, sharp claws. Living underground keeps mob members safe from predators and out of the harsh African heat. These burrows can be 5 metres long and contain multiple entrances, tunnels and rooms. A group will use, oh dear, I need to edit that as well. A group will use up to 5 separate burrows at a time. And because this is about them burrowing, I know that on one of the Lion King films there was a nice song with the meerkats all singing about burrowing. So I've done a link there. So again, if you want to do an online non-chronological report, you can put links in. So I've checked that video. It's a safe video to watch, and it's a cartoon video of meerkats singing about burrowing. So if you want to do it online on a document, you can add those in. And then I've got another paragraph here. This one is about them eating, and I decided to call it dinner time. And it says, meerkats pop out during the daytime. As the sun comes up, they begin looking for food. Interestingly, they are omnivores, and so they eat a wide variety of food, such as beetles, caterpillars, spiders, and scorpions. They also eat small reptiles, birds, eggs, fruit and plants. Back at the burrow, several babysitters will stay behind to watch over the newborn pups. Check out the fuzzy meerkat pups below. And we've got some more pictures. These pictures are a really nice thing to put in your non-chronological report. And then we've got a final paragraph here about communication. Meerkats are known for living together in large groups, and it's amazing to listen to them chatting to one another. Can they understand one another? Incredibly, research has shown that meerkats can make a huge range of noises to communicate different ideas. Watch the clip below to learn more. And then I've put another link to a YouTube video, and that is a BBC Earth video. So it's from a BBC Earth documentary, and it's about some scientific research that happened. So it's really, really useful. Now at the bottom here, you can see I've added a glossary. Now glossary can be really, really small, but it's just a chance to tell the reader what some of the trickier words might mean. So especially if somebody a little bit younger is picking up your non-chronological report, they might not have heard the word omnivore or predator before. So all you need to do for glossary, it's a little bit like a mini dictionary. You write the word, so I've put the word omnivore, and you use a colon, so that's the dot dot there, and then you just write what the word means. So omnivore means a creature that eats both vegetation and meat. And here I have the word predator and a colon. And what predator means is an animal that hunts another animal. Okay, so I've put my own definitions in there. Now, if you want to be quite clever about it, you would also put those words in alphabetical order. So O comes before P in the alphabet. Okay, and that is the non-chronological report. I keep getting tongue twisted about that. So very quickly again, I'm just going to scan over the features. A nice, big, bold title at the top. There we go. An introduction, maybe some pictures. Paragraphs with subheadings. So a subheading is like a mini title. We scan down here. We would have some specialist vocabulary, so using something like burrow or entrance or omnivore or spiders and scorpions, maybe saying where in the world, so if they're from Africa, so some words that you would only find related to that animal or in that sort of genre. Keeping everything in nice, neat, separate boxes. Pictures, and if you want to put a caption with your picture you can, or you can just have them nice and clear, but make sure your pictures relate to what it is that you're writing about. And a glossary to explain any of those tricky words. Okay, I'm just going to go through some of the useful steps that you will need when you come to write your own non-chronological report. So the first and most important step is very simple. It's choosing your animal. But this can take a while because there might be lots of animals that you want to write about. And I suggest picking one that you don't already know lots about, because then you get to learn about an animal that you maybe didn't know about. So have a little look at some of the options that are attached on this document when I send this one to you, and maybe choose an animal that you find particularly amusing, because the whole point of us gathering our non-chronological reports is that they will be a nice light-hearted like a light-hearted magazine that we can read to find out about some quite amusing animals. So the first thing you need to do is choose your animal, but no one else can really do that for you. But if you're struggling, you can look at the suggestions that are on the sheet. Then number 2, you're going to decide on a title. So you might want to use a little bit of alliteration, like I had marvellous meerkats, so an MM sound. So it might be nice to have a bit of alliteration, but you don't have to. And also decide which subheadings you'd like to use. And you can have a look back at my non-chronological report to help you with some ideas, or use the same ones if you like, but for a different animal. It's really good to have the subheadings first, because it helps you to know what to research, what to find out, and then what to write about. So if you've decided you're going to write about what the animal looks like, and you might use the subheading appearance, then you know that you need to have a look at lots of pictures, maybe find out the size of the animal, find out the texture, what does it have fur, does it have scales, is it slimy, find out about how that creature looks, make some notes on it, and then you'll be able to write a paragraph all about how the animal looks. So it just helps you to focus with your writing. And you don't need to have loads of subheadings. I would say have an introduction and then have maybe 2 or 3 more. But if you're struggling because you've got lots of ideas, you can always have more than that. Okay, step 3, research your animal. So you might have lots of nature books at home, some books about animals. So you might want to look through books, or you might decide to use the internet. The internet's a brilliant resource for this sort of thing. But as always, when we're on the internet, we need to try to stay safe. And if you see anything that you don't think is right, you need to go and tell a grown-up so that they can point you in the right direction. If you want to search on YouTube for some sort of documentary mini clips about different animals, then if you search BBC Earth and then write the name of the animal, you might find there are some BBC Earth clips that have come from the BBC documentary. So they're all nice, safe videos and really interesting and well shot as well. So they're quite nice ones to watch. Number 4. Think about the layout of your non-chronological report. So before you start writing, you might want to think, where would you like the pictures to go? Where would you like the subheadings to go? And before you start, it's a good idea to make a rough sketch of where you want everything to be. So you might have a scrap bit of paper and you might draw some circles or some boxes and write the word picture in, or do a quick sketch of what sort of picture you might like. And you might draw some boxes where you think you would want to put the writing. And this can always change, but it just gives you an idea of the layout. Because you might try and fit it all in one page, but you might find that actually you need to go over onto 2 pages to make it a really good report. So just have a go at sketching out where you think everything's going to go. Number 5, once you get started, remember to use factual language. If you're using a technical word, you can add it to the glossary at the end of your report to explain what that word means. So if you are maybe writing a report about owls, you might find that more than a group of owls is called a parliament of owls. And so you might want to write that down. But if you thought that your reader might get confused by that, you could always put that into the glossary. And 6, remember to start your sentences in interesting ways. So you might start a sentence, interestingly, something, 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 or surprisingly, something, something, something. Also, you might want to ask the reader some questions in your text, such as you might start with, did you know? Remember, if you're using a question, pop a question mark at the end of it. And if you're using a fronted adverbial, like interestingly or surprisingly, you should have a little comma after it. So we would say interestingly, and we'd have a little bink. Interestingly, bink. The meerkat lives in a large group. And it just reminds the reader that there's a short pause there.